everyone, thanks for stopping by. It's Patty from PS Paper Crafts, and I wanted to show you how to make this really pretty Thinking of You card. I used the thumping technique. I've done this before where you can get various colors by using your stamping markers and just bouncing them around on your ink pad. So I'll show you how to do that today. This is from the Golden Afternoon stamp set. This is a stamp set in the Occasions catalog that I kind of overlooked at first. So the Occasions catalog goes through the end of May, and if you look on page 31, you'll see the stamp set, and it has some really nice sentiments on it. And then I thought the tree, when I saw the tree, I thought of the that thumping technique, and I thought it would be really pretty. And I'm also using the paper from the Floral Romance, the Specialty Designer Series paper. That's this green. This is really gorgeous. Some of it is vellum and some of it is solids, or not solids, but just regular paper. But it's really gorgeous, and I saw these leaves, and I just kind of, I don't know, I dream about stamps sometimes and cards, and I just had this in my mind. So I figured I'd give it a try. So I have my pieces all cut out, and I used the rectangle stitched framelits to get these two pieces, and I used the second to biggest for my Mossy Meadow, and then I used the third from the biggest for the Whisper White. So I love the way these just, you know, nest in together, and it just gives it a kind of a finished look. So let's get started. We're going to be working on this piece right here. So let me put these aside. And if you've never done this thumping technique, it's really easy. It sounds a little weird. But the first thing I'm going to do is take my lighter green color that I'm using, and I'm using Pear Pizzazz, and I'm just going to ink up this whole thing, just to give me a base in case I miss something when I do my bouncing around here with my markers. And then I picked markers that were in the green family, and then I also have Fresh Fig and Mango Melody, just to give it a little bit different, you know, natural look. So I'm not going to do the leaves up here and these the same. I'm going to do them a little bit different, and then I'm going to color in the trunk. So I'm taking my lighter colors. I'm going to use the orange and the Fresh Fig on the bottom, not on the top. And I'm also going to use my, let's see, what was this? Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to kind of put these aside. I don't want them on the top. I want them on the bottom. And I'm going to go with my lightest to darkest. And this is inked up. And I'm just going to take the marker tip of it, and I'm just going to bounce. Just kind of hold it and bounce around, and I'm just doing the top part, and then I'll do the bottom part, and then I'll do the trunk, and I'll show you all of that. So I'm going to just take these, bounce them around, take the next color, which is Old Olive, and do the same thing. And I will speed this up so that you don't have to see me just sitting here bouncing around. So I'm using the, what did I say? Granny Apple Green. Then this is Old Olive, and then I'm going to use Call Me Clover and Garden Green, and I'll speed this up. Okay, so now I have the top part done. For the bottom part, I'm going to use the Old Olive again. So let me just pull that out. And again, I'm doing lightest to darkest, but on this one, I'm going to use the orange at the end, because I did it in the beginning and I noticed there wasn't much orange in here. But then when I did the inside, I did pick up a little orange. So I think it just got covered by the green. The problem is, if it hits the green, it's going to pick up the green. So when I'm done, I'm just going to scribble it off so that I get the green off the marker. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Fresh Fig, and then the Mango Melody. So I'll be back. So now I'm just going to scribble this off. See how it picked up some of the green? So you just want to get that off of the marker. It's not going to really damage it. So let's put these away, and then I'm going to pull out my early espresso, and I'm just going to color the trunk. And just, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, I always say nature is so many different colors, you really couldn't even completely imitate it. So I think just natural colors mixed together, it's not going to really matter. So just try to get the trunk as best you can. And some of the branches go into the leaves, so don't worry about that. So I think that looks okay. So this is a key part that you can't skip, because if you do, it probably won't come out right. You have to breathe on it to moisten everything up, because you've been inking it and it's drying over time because it takes a while. So you're just going to breathe on it to moisten it up, and then you're going to stamp it. And then I'm just going to line it up and press it down good. And then the magic happens. Isn't that really pretty? I mean, it's just all different colors. You didn't get much orange in here. I see the fresh fig though, which I think is pretty. So I just think that is just so pretty. You could color in the trunks if you wanted to. I don't think you need to. And then I took the sentiment from this same set and did a thinking of you. You could do with deepest sympathy or whatever you want to do. And I did that in the mossy meadow just to kind of pull it together. So we'll just ink that up. Just make sure it looks okay. All right. And we'll put this together. I did not put a sentiment on the inside, but I did the smaller of the trees. So I'm going to do the same thing on the inside, and then we'll put the card together. So again, the steps are to ink up your image, your stamp, first with the lightest color. And you know, we colored the brown over the trunk, so I didn't really worry about getting the green ink on the brown trunks, because it really will just coat it when you put the brown on. So we're going to do the same thing, and I will speed it up. And I'm using the same colors, so I don't think you need to watch all this. I'll just speed it up, and I will be back. Okay, so let's put these markers aside, and then we'll color in the trunks. I think this would be really pretty in the fall with reds and oranges and those kind of fall colors. I think that would be a beautiful card. So I'll have to try that again. Okay, then we're going to just breathe on it. And I just stamped it down at this bottom corner. And it's always a surprise. I mean, isn't that pretty? They'll never come out exactly the same. But it's just, it always surprises me when I see it. So now I'm just going to put the card together. This is that designer series paper, and it's pretty thick. It's not too flimsy. And as I said, some of it is vellum, and it's really pretty. So I'm just going to use my liquid glue. I like to use the liquid glue. And just put this down. So the colors in this are Mossy Meadow and Pear Pizzazz. So I have a Pear Pizzazz card base. And then I'm going to put this on top with the liquid glue. And you just go sparingly on the liquid glue. You don't need much, but it does stick very nicely. It does give you that couple of seconds to line everything up without committing. And then I will adhere this with dimensionals to the card just to pop it up a little bit. And this is a pretty card though. I think it'd be great for a guy. You know, it's hard sometimes to find masculine cards. So I thought this would be good. You could make it a birthday card or a sympathy card. There's a lot of choices here. Just getting the release paper off. I always struggle with this. And these are easy. It's a user problem, not the dimensionals. One more. Okay. Come on. We can do it. Okay. So just center this. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm just going to put some glue on here. And put this in the inside. And you could put a sentiment on the inside. For thinking of you, I like to just write my own little note in there. And I think the tree is pretty. So that's that. And then the last thing I did was I just put some of this braided linen trim right around just to add something to it. So we'll just go right around here. And let me just cut a piece and just tie a bow. Easier said than done, right? I just thought it was kind of a rustic ribbon, so it kind of went with it. And there we have it. I think they're really pretty. I love the colors. See, they're a little bit different, similar, but you know, each time you do it again, it's different. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you try this technique. Give it a whirl. You could use any colors you want, any, you know, just a variation of greens, and, you know, pop in some brighter colors, and I think it's really pretty. Okay, you guys have a good day. Take care. Bye.